If you've never used AI, don't know how, or just don't see the point, this is for you. Practical AI for real people. Let's get into it. So in this video, I'm going to show you how I use AI to survive in the real world as a non-technical person. Here are 10 use cases you can start using today, and stick around for number 7 because this one got me thousands of dollars back from a car dealership. Before we get into it, my number one general rule: any question you have, big, small, technical, curiosity, whatever, just ask AI. Treat it as the most knowledgeable person you've ever had access to. That said, AI makes mistakes. For anything high stakes, medical, legal, financial, use it as preparation, not as your final answer. And don't give away your agency. Push back if something feels off. AI is co-pilot, AI is not pilot. Let's get into it. There are a few skills I want you guys to have. They are very useful skills that most YouTube videos never talk how to do it. They just assume everybody knows how. But on Beginner's Mind AI, I don't make such assumptions. So basic skill number 1 is the screenshot. Most people know how this is just my screensaver thing, but a screenshot is when you want to save whatever is on a screen. So let's say it could be like anything: a photo, a document, like you're paying your bill on your phone, a contract, anything like that. Something you just don't feel like, if you just there's something on the screen you just want to save. You press on an iPhone, you just press this button on the side. I guess, what is this button? I don't know what it's called. The button here, and then the top volume button. So you got like this one here, and then you got this up increasing volume, and you do it at the same time. You press it, and boom, boom. You see, it saved it as a screenshot. And this screenshot will go into my photos. Where you have your photos, the screenshot will be saved in your photos. If you have an Android, I didn't even know how you do it because I don't use Android, but from what I've read, it's volume down and the power button at the same time. There are some exceptions, so just look up online. Ask ChatGPT, how do I do a screenshot? Now, the basic skill number 2 is how to upload a photo or a screenshot to ChatGPT. So let's go to ChatGPT. I'm going to go. If you don't have ChatGPT already, you're going to want to go to OpenAI, get an account. Just go to openai.com. Just fill out whatever it says. Get the account. Then you could, if you're using it for a phone, you could just download the app. So now I'm in ChatGPT. And if I want to upload a photo, let's say I have a question about this photo. It could be a screenshot of a document or a photo I took of myself, like, do I look good today? So I can go here. I press there's a plus sign here. Oops. Plus sign. This is for the phone. Of course, everything. So I have all these photos here, like whatever, all my photos. So let's just do this. This is my screen. So I clicked on the screensaver I just took here. Add photo. The photo goes here, and now I can ask a question about the photo. You could type it. Another thing I'm going to show you, because I tend to prefer not typing because it's just easier. I like just using my voice instead. So there's an image of a snake in this photo. So I will press. I press this. You see this microphone button? So press the microphone button. What kind of snake is it in the image? Then I press that square, and it wrote down what I said. What kind of snake is it in the image? So that is speech to text, which I just did, which is another basic skill. It's a voice feature because I prefer not typing. And then I press the arrow, which sends the picture to ChatGPT, and here it answered, so I can read the answer. But I said I don't really like looking at the screen all the time, so what can I do instead of reading the answer? If you look over here, you can see there's that, it looks like a speaker button, like a speaker, like next to those squares, there's the speaker. I'll press this.
That looks like a red phase of a ring-necked snake, likely a juvenile or regional variant. The clues are small, slender body, smooth, shiny scales, dark belly visible underneath, deep reddish orange coloration, small rounded head that's not much wider than the neck. They're mildly venomous to tiny prey like worms and salamanders, but harmless to humans and not dangerous. People often find them under logs, rocks, or around moist wooded areas.
1 second.
Very cool looking snake.
Anyway, you got the answer there. I mean, if this was a snake I encountered in real life and I was really worried about it, like being venomous or whatnot, then I would go double check, like look up like whatever snake it said it was, and corroborate sources and whatnot. But it most likely is correct. You can also add context for a better prompt. You say like, I saw this snake in Grass Valley, California. I actually did see this snake in Grass Valley, California. So like you give it the location, and then that can also give more context. So you just saw how to do a screenshot, you press the plus sign. Now for a photo, let's say I'll take a photo of myself. Here, I'll do a selfie. Okay. Now I'm going to go to ChatGPT, and I'm going to press this plus sign again, the plus sign. Oop. Now I can look in my photos. This is just a more recent, but I could look through there. So I go here, add one photo. Sometimes I add many photos, like if there's like documents I want to show, like I'll screenshot many like legal documents or whatever, and you can do 10 at a time. So sometimes you have to do 10, then you send them, then you say, wait, I have more, and you send another. I've sent hundreds of documents. But so here's a picture of me. I'm gonna do again the thing. Instead of typing, I'll press the microphone. How do you think I look in this image? Do you think it would do well for a profile picture for my YouTube channel? Then I'll press the arrow. Now it's responding. I could read it, of course. Let's say I'm in a place I want to be quiet. I don't have headphones. I could just read it. But if I don't feel like reading it, I will press the speaker button that I showed you earlier. Press that button right there.
I think you have a strong, memorable look for a YouTube channel, especially for the kind of thoughtful, philosophical AI for real people vibe you've talked about. What stands out?
There you go. Anyway, I'll keep the rest private. So those are some crucial skills I wanted to teach you guys. There's one more skill I'll show you if you ever just want to have a live conversation with ChatGPT. Like what I showed you so far, well, I showed you the screenshot, I showed you how to upload a photo, and I showed you I showed you the audio features of speech to text and getting a respond text to speech. But if I don't want to touch the phone or minimally touch the phone, you can press on this button here. You see that's black circle with the lines. And FYI, all of these things are on if you use a computer and you're not using your phone. I wanted to show the phone because I actually do use it a lot on the phone. But these are all on the computer. The layout might be slightly different, but you'll be able to figure out. It's very similar. So here I'll press this. This is for live conversation. Hey.
I'm right here, Gil. What's on your mind?
No, I'm right now recording a YouTube video, and I'm showing the audience how to have live conversations with ChatGPT.
Oh, nice.
Can you say hi to the audience?
Absolutely. Hi there, everyone. I hope you're having a good time watching. Let's keep things rolling.
I'm also going to let everybody know this voice is in the settings you can choose like different voices. I switch them up sometimes, so if you go on your own device and you hear like a male or different accent or whatever, know you have different options. Lately I've been enjoying this one. I think it's Soul. But yeah, So these are features I wanted to show you. All right, thank you, ChatGPT. Some people give their ChatGPT a name. I don't really have one. Okay, so now let's get to the list of the list of 10, the 10 cheat sheet, we'll call it. So I'm trying to think. I wrote down 10. I'm going to see which ones. I actually have a lot more uses, but for this video, we'll do these 10. So I'll start with we'll give, I wrote health, legal documents, emotional support, text messages, instruction manuals, plant and mushroom ID, the Nissan story, which is my car dealership story, help with homework for your kid, bedtime stories, image generation like logos and stuff like that. So health. If I ever have a health concern, some skin blemish or something for my kids puking, stuff like that, this of course does not replace professional help, but you can get a lot, you can ask. It's a good place to start. And if the doctor says something you need clarity on, it can also you want to get a certain test with the doctor, it will tell you how to phrase it with the doctor, when you go in for a check-in. Calorie counting, there's all these apps to count calories. You can literally just how I did the voice thing, you just tell it what you ate. Hey, I ate this and that and the other. You can take a picture of your food and upload it, and things that it can't see, how much oil you put in your food, you could tell it. You can people get exercise routines. That one I don't really use it for, but I know that's a common use. You can ask about nutritional supplements. Is this supplement ashwagandha really legit? Is there good research behind it? So everything health related, that's one use case. Another use case I found very helpful is legal documents. I myself cannot stand paperwork, bureaucracy, all that kind of stuff. And, obviously this does not replace an attorney, but if in instances which are very common in my life, I have to sign a contract for a lease or for some bank thing or application for this, that, and the other, I'll take pictures, upload the screenshots, and ask ChatGPT, is there anything important I should know from this document? Is there, if I have any questions, how long is the lease for, etc., etc. Any question legal document related, it's great. I mean, if I'm not going to hire an attorney anyway to sign those things. Now, as far as if it's something high stakes and I am going to go to an attorney, you can use it for research, ask all your questions. What kind of attorney should I go to? This is my situation. I don't know what to do. Yada, yada, yada. I mean, I had one, there's the car story I said, which I guess I found out there was a recall on a vehicle I had. And a safety recall, I was not informed of it. And I didn't know how to go about it. And it gave me which laws were violated, section, this number, that number, and whatever. And it really helped me. What else? Any kind of legal dispute or issue, it's great for research. And again, AI can make mistakes. It's amazingly accurate, probably most of the time. I'm cautious to say that, but it seems to me that way. But obviously you are taking a risk if you completely rely on it. I do not recommend that. But yeah, so legal documents. Number 3, we'll say emotional support. Now, this is really strange. I never expected it to help with emotional support, but I don't have a therapist with me 24/7, and sometimes I struggle with all kinds of human type things humans might struggle with. I have my unique struggles as well, and I did not think or expect that a robot would have such great insight into personal, emotional challenges, mental processes, interpersonal challenging dynamics, but I found it very helpful. I've even was like going to a therapist once a week at one time, and I'm not I'm not saying this replaces a therapist, but like often I felt like it was more helpful. Venting, someone I have some challenging dynamic with a person. I've personally found a lot of benefit from it. You can try it yourself, and you can do. Sometimes it's nice just to have the audio feature. You just press that button I showed you, and just go on and say your thing and like get the response. Or you could do the live thing as well. I tend to do more of the speech to text and get the responses text to speech, but I'll do both sometimes. And then I wrote text messages. That kind of ties in with the emotional support. Well, it depends. Any text message, like I use this often for text messages. If if I'm having like some back and forth, like text messaging, whether it's like high tension, romantic, those are two separate things, yeah. Communication is not clear, a challenging situation where I'm interacting with someone, like, how do you think I should respond? What do you think they meant? And I don't always agree with what the ChatGPT says. And I'm saying ChatGPT, you can replace that with Claude, Grok, whatever. I'm just showing ChatGPT because that's where I started. That's what I started with. I still use ChatGPT. I also use Grok, Perplexity, Claude, but I don't really want to get into all of that. They're very similar in a lot of ways. So I'm just like going to focus on ChatGPT right now to keep it simple. But yeah, doing screenshots of your text messages, getting feedback before you send a message or after you sent a message, stuff like that. So I personally find that beneficial. Yeah, that's the one way I use it. Instruction manuals. You get something. You bought a thing, a device, a IKEA furniture. I don't know what. Anything with an instruction manual, and I don't always have patience reading all those manuals. So I try to figure it out by myself. But like sometimes you can take pictures of the manual, and if you ever get stuck anywhere and you're like, yo, this is where I'm at, you can even take a picture of like where you're at, what the issue is, and like you take a picture, you tell it what's going on, screenshots, whatever, and it can be very helpful. It's like instead of just reading instructions, it's almost like you're talking to an expert. Let's see. So I think that was number 5. I wrote plant/mushroom ID. Again, if you're gonna consume it like a mushroom or a plant, that's a high stake thing because there are poisonous plants and mushrooms. But if before you eat it, well, if you're not going to eat it and you're curious, like sometimes I'm with my child, that's another thing. Like my kid asks me a million questions, so like I can always at this point my kids like ask ChatGPT. I was like, I don't know this. We'll ask ChatGPT. But like, what kind of bird is it? What kind of plant is this? What kind of mushroom is this? And then you upload the screenshot of the photograph, and it will tell you. Of course, if you're thinking to eat a mushroom, always do corroboration of research, like look it up and with other sources, verify, if you're going to consume something, but that's another. But if I'm curious about an animal, a worm, a caterpillar, stuff like that, that's another use. Let's see, what else do we have here? Oh, so I wrote the Nissan story. So that ties back to legal things. I said I have an electric car. It was a Nissan Leaf. I bought it from a car dealership. It was used. It was a third party. It wasn't actually Nissan. And I drove it for like close 7 months or 8 months or something like that. Then I went to rotate the tires. I went to a Nissan dealership, and they're like, oh, by the way, don't use the quick charging. Electric cars have like quick charging, slow charging, which is a feature I used a lot. And they're like, I was like, what do you mean don't use it? It's like, oh, there's a hazard, fire hazard or something. I'm like, what? Um, and that seemed like it was really strange because I was like, no one told me that there's this hazard could catch on fire. So I reached out at first. So I walked away from the dealership. I was like, that's really strange. And then I didn't know. I was like, wait. And then I told ChatGPT about the situation. And then oh, this is another thing, like finding phone numbers. Like, hey, can you give me? He's like, yeah, you want to speak to Nissan Consumer Affairs? It connected me, gave me their contact, and then it 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 um it gave me like what law, like they violated a certain federal law. Like by law, Nissan was supposed to inform me that there was a safety recall, which I never got informed. I think it was something along those lines. Don't quote me exactly, but like it said which specific law. So I asked it like, hey, can you write an email like with this explaining the situation? Of course, I read the email. Ideally, not always, but I should read the email, and then I just send it. And it's like these are things I don't have patience. And we were going back and forth like many emails, at least 30. I would not have patience to deal with all that. And eventually, like, Nissan bought the car back from me and gave me back my money. So that was cool. So what else? Homework help. So I have a second grader child, and I have a well, not a toddler, 4-year-old, but for my second grade child, I I sometimes we get homework. He does homework, and sometimes those homework packets, usually they're pretty straightforward, but sometimes the wording of the instructions I find to be not very clear. My kid doesn't understand it. Then I look at it and I'm like, I think I understand what they want, but I'm not totally sure. So I'll just like take a picture of the homework, upload the screenshot to ChatGPT, and voila, it explains what needs to be done. Then also in the same vein as homework, my son, he has to read every day for 20 minutes, and we have to do reading. I can help with the reading or whatever. So what I've been enjoying doing, or we've been enjoying doing, is we'll make our own stories. Like I'll say what do you want the story to be about? So we do whatever. It'll say I want the savannas of Africa, lions, tigers, whatever, a skateboarder, and all these different things. I like to throw in. Sometimes I'll do bedtime stories with both of my kids, and my daughter's a lot younger, and she'll have her mermaids or whatever in there. But I like to add in a life lesson that I think, or some kind of virtue life lesson, something I aspire that they integrate into their lives. I hope my kids play music, for example. So include in the story something about, the benefits of playing music. And then boom, ChatGPT composes a great story that we can read on the phone. We can read it you can either just read it, or you can read it while it speaks at the same time, so you can read the text. Because when it does the audio, the text to speech, you still can read it. And I find that to be a fun, creative way to very quickly write a story for kids, and where the kids are involved in the creation, and there's some kind of important teaching or lesson. And then another use is image generation. So if you have to make a logo, you want to make a logo, a piece of art. I've actually made 2 prints for t-shirts, not this one, but I designed a couple t-shirts. I had my ideas, and I go to ChatGPT. Here's ChatGPT. Let's do this. And I like not typing. So let's say, what are we going to do? We'll do a logo for this channel. The channel is Beginner's Mind AI, and I want it to have an image, let's say, of a wizard, Let me think, what else? A wizard with a wand, and there's some like digital looking code, something that looks AI like. So I am making a YouTube video right now, and I want to show my audience how I generate an image. So I want you to make a logo for my Beginner's Mind AI channel. I want there to be an image of a wizard with a wand, and there's some like digital code sparkles coming out of the wand. And yeah, let's do that. Okay, so this actually takes a little bit of time, so it creates the image. You have to wait a little bit. So, but I'll show you it when it's done. And this is something I can do with my kids too. Like they can do designs. They'll do designs sometimes, so it's fun kid activity too. And yeah, you can create an image like that. Let me think, what else? All right, so here is the image it came up with. Beginner's Mind AI. Not too bad, not too bad. So yeah, I can use this for a logo for the channel. So there I gave you 10 use cases. I have many more, so stay tuned. Keep watching. Give a like, subscribe if you learned anything beneficial, if you enjoyed it. And yeah, I appreciate you watching. This is Beginner's Mind AI, practical AI for real people. This is just part 1. There's a lot more coming. If this was helpful, follow the channel. Let's go. Yes.